Hello viewers, this is Life Experiences with Adedeji Adams. In today's video, I want to narrate an event that happened, a wonderful event that I consider God's making. Now, the reason I recorded this video is to let the youths know that God is always guiding people. If you are a child of God, God will guide you. If you do what God wants, He will always guide you. But first of all, you must have plans. You must know what you want, make plans, and beg God for it. That's the purpose of this video. It's for youths and elders too, elders who care, so that they can tell this to their children and those that are close to them. Now, let me go to the story. I'm a business consultant in Lagos. There was a time a client came to me that he wanted a limited liability company within a week. At that time, it was always a difficult thing because everything was being done in Abuja. The Corporate Affairs Commission had been moved to Abuja. Abuja was a new federal capital territory. So ministries were being, and government departments were being relocated there. So before you could do that kind of thing, it was taking like 3 months. But this man wanted this thing within 1 week. So I took it up. After completing all the necessary papers, I moved to Abuja. I got to Abuja on a Monday evening. By the following morning, Tuesday, I was at the office of the Commission, Corporate Affairs Commission at Abuja. When I got there, I went to their processing room, the big room in which you lodge your documents and pay and do all the registration procedures. I looked round to see if I could recognize a face who could help me. I didn't see any. I was frustrated and unhappy, considering that I had to deliver the certificate the following Friday. That was a Tuesday. So I was thinking of what to do. You know, something just told me, go and see the overall boss. That is the Director General. Okay, I decided to do that. But on my way, it occurred to me that he was a very busy man. He would either attend one meeting or the other, or he might have traveled out or gone from one conference or the other. But all the same, I decided to go. When I got there, you know, it was another apartment. So the security people there stopped me. I told them I wanted to see the Director General. They looked at me, and just said I should go in. That was the first wonder. I went in, I spoke with the receptionist. She allowed me in. I entered the office, spoke with the secretary. I expected the secretary to query me, to ask me why I wanted to see him, or give me form to fill. She didn't do any of that. She just said the man was inside and that I should go in. I knocked, entered. The man didn't even look up. He was scribbling something on the paper. I sat down, and when he finished, he looked up. I greeted him politely and told him what I wanted, why I was there. He just looked at me like this and said, okay. give your papers to my secretary and come back for the certificate the following day. Wow, that was another wonder. I didn't believe that at first. I was thinking, was he deceiving me, or why did he say that kind of thing? But I just took it in good faith. I gave the secretary the papers and all the requirements. The following day, I went there about 11:30. I was handed my certificate. You can imagine how joyful I was that what I didn't think could be done so early had been accomplished. Thank God. So I decided that I was going back to Lagos that evening with the evening flight. So then I said to myself, I still had some time to spend. I could go around the city and see and just to know the city, familiarize with it. But later I decided that, okay, I should go to the Federal Radio Corporation, FRCN, where I worked before. I thought I should go there to see those that had been posted to the new station there. You know, I told you Abuja was a new city and the ministries were being relocated there. So some of the staff had been sent to Abuja. So I decided to go there. So as I was going, jubilating and praising God for the accomplishment, I just noticed that a young boy was gallivanting, was rushing towards me. I became conscious. I remember all the stories I've heard about Abuja, how some persons were snatching bags, robbing people at lonely places. That area was a lonely place. You see, the Federal Radio Corporation, FRCN, was not far from the Corporate Affairs Commission, so I decided to trek. So as I was going, the boy invariably came to me and greeted me. When he greeted me, well, I thought of another thing. I thought he wanted to beg for money because it was rampant there at Abuja. Persons will come to you if you are well dressed and tell you that they came to Abuja to visit somebody, but they didn't meet the person, so they didn't have money to go back to their destination, so they want you to give them money. Or some may say they didn't have accommodation, that you should find a place for them and things like that. But this boy didn't say anything like that. When he greeted me, he just said, God told me that I should see you and you will give me job. I couldn't believe my head. I said, come again, repeat what you just said. He said, God told him that he should meet me, that I will give him job. I laughed, scornfully. I told him, God couldn't have told you that. God knew that I was going back to Lagos that very evening and that I didn't know anybody there. How could God have told you I will get you job? I was new in Abuja. I didn't even know where I was going. I was just told that it was very close. So he repeated it. He said God told him that he should meet me, that I will give him job. I was laughing again. But as I was laughing, I just felt a kind of calmness in my spirit, a kind of coolness, and then a soft thing just spoke to my mind. Why don't you take him to where you are going? I thought of that in my mind. I should take him to where I'm going. Okay. I told the boy that I didn't know where I was going. I had never been there. I didn't know who and who were there. I was just going to check there. So I told him, okay, let's go. So we went together. When we got there, then we got to Radio Nigeria. You know, let me explain. Radio Nigeria is a security risk area. People don't go there unnecessarily, except you have something to do there or you are on invitation. The stations are guarded by soldiers, armed soldiers, you know, because of the experiences they've had with coups. When people come there to, when coup plotters come there to broadcast, and so the stations are always fully guarded. So I went to meet the soldiers on duty. I told them I was a former staff in Lagos, that I was just there to check who and who I could see there, just to chat with them. As before, they looked at me and said, I should go in. So I went in. The local security people too, I explained to them, they allowed me in. The receptionist said I should go up, without any query. That was when I knew that, yes, God had an errand for me. So when I got to the first floor, there was nobody. It was a kind of passage. There were rooms left and right, office rooms. So I was wondering which room to enter. Somebody just came out from one of the rooms. So as he wanted to proceed, he looked back because he had sounds of footsteps. He had that coming. So he looked. When I saw him, I recognized him as somebody we've worked together before in Lagos, but I couldn't place his name then. When he looked at me, he recognized me instantly and shouted my name, and we greeted, the normal pleasantries. So I asked him who was their overall boss there. He told me the name. It happened that it was my very good friend when we were working together. Although he was in another department, but we were always together, doing things together, and I was even visiting him. So he showed me his office. When I got to the office, I entered, saw the secretary. The secretary told me there was somebody with him, that we should sit down. So we sat down. When the person with him finished and came out, as I was to enter, I told my co-visitor, the boy that followed me, that he should wait, that I will call him later. So I entered. My friend was overjoyed to have seen me, because we had not seen each other for a very long time since I left the corporation. So we discussed with reminiscence what had happened to either of us, one way or the other. We said all those things. Eventually, when we finished, I told him that I came with somebody who I just met on the street, so that he won't take me as his guarantor. I told him that I just met him. I told him what the boy told me, and that if he thought he could help him, he should please do so. But he must be aware of the circumstance of our meeting. So he asked me what work the boy wanted. I I said I didn't know, and decided to call the boy in. He was asked what work he wanted. He said any job, that he had been in Abuja for so many years looking for job, no luck. He had tried everywhere. So until God just told him that he should meet somebody somewhere. Okay. So that my friend said, okay, go and sit down at the secretary's office. We will give you a job. Wow. I was surprised. I knew that it was God's wonder. So that was how this boy was employed at the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Abuja, which is a federal government establishment. So this boy was employed there. Now, I didn't meet that boy before then, and up to the time of this video, I've never met him. I don't even know his name. So God just used me to get him employment. So I was happy. So my lesson to the youth today is that you have to be close to your God. God has a way of making things happen in a way one wouldn't expect. So you have to be close to God. You have to be close with Him. Then you must have plans for your life. Know what you want to do. Make plans. Then beg God. When you are close to Him, He will give you job. He will give you whatever your life desire, so that there will be a shining example that a child of God. So thank you all for listening. I hope you will share this video and subscribe to it, so that other people will learn from this, and they'll be able to know the importance of planning and God's involvement. Adedeji Adams is my name. Thank you for listening.